Now let us talk about the filter flow. As you have already seen that we have discussed about the relationship cardinality, which is one to many in the previous video. What is this arrow is all about? This is what we call a filter flow. So you can see that it is downstream, going downstream from territory table, which is the dimension table, towards the sales table. That is the reason I've kept the dimension table at the top and fact table at the bottom. We can clearly see that which table is controlling which one, right? Okay, now in this case, let me explain you in detail. You need to be with me for a few minutes and concentrate a lot. This is going to be slightly tricky topic, but we'll be able to understand it, right? Let me just create three tables over here, three matrices. One I already have, and let me also do one thing. Increase the font size. I'll talk about all these options later on in detail once we'll get into the visualization part. There I go. So I think 13 font is fine. It is visible. And let me also create a copy of the same. There I go. Right, and let me also mention something over here. It will become easier for you to understand. Here I am going to pick up the territory key from territory table, right? And let me just increase the font size to 16. Keep it center align. There we go. And in the next table, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something different, which is here I'll be picking up the territory key from sales table, okay, which I'm doing it right away. And in place of this, it's very important concept. That's why I'm just putting some more time onto this so that you should completely digest it, right? And this is going to be from returns table. Okay, let me also bring the territory key from returns table. So guys, look at this. What kind of view that we are getting? In the very first table, we picked up the territory key from the territory table, which is the primary key. And over here, we are getting the right order quantity as well as the return quantity. Correct? If you see over here in the model view, you will also notice this is what is happening right now. Same, correct? Because we have the right relationship in place, as well as if you see the filter flow. Right now, territory, okay, let us just focus. Territory is controlling the sales table as well as it is also controlling the returns table. That is the reason this filter is flowing down. Okay, it means if I go over here, sales territory is controlling the order quantity and sales table from where the order quantity is coming, right? And it is also controlling the returns table. That is the reason this return quantity is also coming from there, from the returns table. That is the reason we are getting the right answers for this. But the moment I change the key, which is not coming from the territory table, but it is coming from the sales table. It means if I go over here, you'll notice one thing, that a territory key which is over here into the sales, I picked it up over here into the second matrix. Okay, and over here if you see, order quantity is coming right. Why? Because territory key as well as order quantity both are coming from the same table. But the problem lies is with the return quantity. Return quantity is coming from the returns table, and these two are not directly connected. These two are connected, but through a shared dimension table, right? And why if it is connected, why we are not getting the right return quantity? The reason is, if you see filter is flowing down from territory towards sales, which is good, correct? But it is not streaming up from the sales toward territory. If we make it in any way that it should flow upward also, then sales will be able to control territory, and in turn territory will be controlling the returns table. Okay, and in that way we will be getting the right answer. Okay, so far what we have understood, in the first table the result is correct because we are picking up the primary key. In the second table we picked up the foreign key. Why foreign key? Because it is coming from the fact table, which is not unique. Okay, so in the second table, which is the territory key is coming from the sales table, return quantity is incorrect. Why? Because in our model view we can clearly see that we can't control returns table from the sales table. That is one problem. We can actually do it. How? If we make the filter flow upward also. We can't simply change it to upward, but we can have it both downstream and upstream also. How? We can simply right click and go to the properties of that particular relation. Okay, and here what I'm going to do, if you see over here, cross filter direction is single. We can just make it to both, right? I'll click OK. So now I want to control the territory from the sales. That is what I'm trying to do. Look at that, I'm having both way filter. Now sales will be able to control the territory table, and in turn territory is controlling return already. So now if I go back to the visualization, you will notice that the second table where the territory key is coming from the sales table is giving us the right result, because these two fields are from the sales, and in turn sales is also controlling indirectly returns table. Correct? Now, so this is fine. It means that, okay, there is a solution that we can pick up any of the keys. Right now we are understanding that should we pick up territory key from which table to get the result. So it means we are good. That it means we can pick up any key if we have the two-way filter. But let us just hold on and understand this completely. Let me first change this to single, because we can't have multiple two-way filters in the model. It will give us an ambiguous relationship error. Okay, so if you want to have the third table to give us the right result, for that we have to control the sales by the returns table, because here the territory key is coming from the returns table, return quantity is coming from the returns table. So these two are giving us the right result, but not the order quantity. So we have to control sales table, which will give us the right order quantity. Okay, so I'll just go back over here, and first of all I'll be changing the filter direction to single. Okay, so let it just process and keep only one-way filter, which is good. Now I'm going to control sales by returns table through this shared dimension table, that is territory. How? The same way. I'll simply double click and I'll go with this single to both. Okay, and you will notice it will be having a both way filter, right? Which is good. Now I'll go back and you will notice something. Now the third matrix is giving us the right result, because here territory key is coming from returns, return quantity is coming from returns. So these are okay. And now order quantity is also being controlled by returns table, because order quantity belongs to the sales table. And indirectly, if you see, filter is flowing from returns towards territory and from territory towards sales. So indirectly returns is controlling sales table. Got it? So this is how it is. But the problem is that you can see the last matrix still not giving us the right result. I hope you pointed out that there is no order quantity registered for second and third territory. Why? Because territory key is coming from the returns table, right? And because it is coming from the returns table, the problem is that there were no returns in territory number second and third. And that is the reason it is not even showing the order quantity for these two territories. It means that is wrong. Okay. We have the power to have two-way filter, which is good. But the problem is that it still won't give you the right result. So the solution for the entire discussion is that we should not pick up the foreign key to build the visual. It is better to pick up the primary key, because in all the cases you may have noticed the first table is always giving us the right result. Always. Correct? Because we have picked up the primary key, not the foreign keys. So your focus should always be on picking up the primary key, because foreign keys will give you the wrong results. Okay. So I'll come over here and I'll also change this filter direction. I've double clicked onto this, by the way, to single. Why? Because it will ultimately hamper the model. See, I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you a tip here. Whenever you have more than one fact table in your model, never ever go with two-way filter. Never. Okay, keep that in mind. If you do so, you'll end up messing up the entire model. I'm telling you based on my experience that I have done many projects, trainings and all. So do not go with two-way filter when you have more than one fact table with you. So now you can see ultimately the first table is giving us the right result, right? Now the question comes in that, okay, you know this concept that you should not pick up the foreign key. I know that I should not pick up the foreign key, but what if you collaborate with someone to create the report? Because in Power BI service environment, you can collaborate with someone and build the report. And if they do not know about it, they end up picking up the foreign key. How to forcefully let them to pick up the primary key? We have a very simple solution for the same. Let me show you. First of all, I'll remove it to give you the better view. And second of all, how to do it? Simply simply hide all the foreign keys from your model. How? If you see over here in the sales table, which is our fact table, territory key is a foreign key. So I will simply right click on this and you can see an option of hide in report view. I can simply click on it. And you will notice there is an eye with a cross on it. It means it's hidden from the report view. Okay. And also because it's an updated view, I can, instead of right clicking, I can simply click on this eye. Okay. If you're not using an updated one, you can right click and hide the foreign key. So these two are hidden, right? I'll go back over there. Suppose I need to create one more visualization, again, the similar one, which is territory key and order quantity and return quantity. I'll search for the territory key, by the way. And now you can see territory key is not coming anywhere except the territories table. This is the way, this is the best practice you need to follow, so that the developer of the report or with whom you are collaborating with, they are forcefully needs to pick up the primary key. Okay, so I hope you understood the entire logic. If not, I would appreciate to go through with this video once again. If you go through with it a couple of times, definitely you'll understand it, because I put in the best effort to explain this concept to you, and this is very, very important. My suggestion, do not give up right now. Just focus, just pause the video in between if it is not clear to you. Take your time, try to digest it. Watch it 2 to 3 times at least if it is not clear. It took me a while for me to understand it also, this particular concept. So I've tried to give you a best view through which you can understand the best explanation. It will take some time if you don't belong to that DBMS background, the database background, right? So do not worry about it. Just take some time. Just be on your speed, but definitely you will understand it. But my suggestion, do not go further by skipping this video. Okay, just hold on, watch it a couple of times and you will be good to go. So finally, I just wanted to have this word that, okay, by this you will be able to So this way we have understood how to build the relationship cardinality, and the filter flow, and the use of the importance of picking up the primary key rather than the foreign key, and how to hide the foreign keys from your model, right? We'll talk about a few more aspects of the relationship part in Power BI in the coming videos. Thank you.